to a brand new episode of Are You Sure? Today we're continuing with Ragy, who last time answered 10 questions correctly, earned himself $50, and is now moving on past round 2, going on to round 3. Ragy, welcome back. Let's get started with question number 1 of round 3. This question now is from Exodus 16:13. What animal came up at the evening and covered the whole camp of the children of Israel? Chickens, meat, or quails?
Answer number 3, quails.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We know that it came to pass that at evening the quails came up and covered the whole camp. Great job, Ragy.
Thank you.
Question number 2. In Exodus 16:20, what did the bread that was left until the morning breed? Did it breed snakes? Did it breed frogs? Or did it breed worms?
Answer number 3, it bred worms.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. In Exodus 16:20, we were told that some of the people ended up taking extra bread and they kept it for part of the morning. But in the morning, it began to smell and was full of maggots. Great job. Moving on now to question number 3 of round 3. Question number 3 is also from Exodus 16:25. The question asks, where will the children of Israel not find bread on the Sabbath day? They will not find it in the factory, they will not find it in the company, or they would not find it in the fields.
Answer number 3, they will not find it in the fields.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We know that they were told, eat the bread today, Moses said, because today is a Sabbath to the Lord. You will not find any on the ground. Great job. Question number 4. Question number 4 is also from Exodus 16 and verse 31. What did the house of Israel call the special bread that the Lord gave them? They called it sesame bread, they called it anise bread, or they called it a special name, manna.
Answer number 3, they called it manna bread.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We know that the people of Israel called the bread manna. It was white like a coriander seed and tasted like wafers made with honey. Great job, Ragy.
Thank you.
Now is the 5th and final question of round 3. If Ragy gets this correct, he earns $75 and moves on to round 4. Ragy, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the question. Question number 5 asks, where did the Lord feed the children of Israel? In his tent, in his field, or in the wilderness?
Answer number 3, in the wilderness.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Let's see the answer. Yes, that is correct. We know from Exodus 16:32, Moses said, this is what the Lord has commanded. Take an omer of manna and keep it for generations to come, so they can see the bread that I gave you in the wilderness. Great job.
Thank you.
Stay tuned after this break for round 4 with Ragy. He has already earned $75 and now is going to try to win the next prize of $100.
They complained because they did not have enough food. The supplies they carried with them from Egypt began to run out, and they had to sustain in the wilderness. It would seem that starvation was more anticipated than experienced. In another word, they did not live through weeks and weeks of famine, nor did they see their families and friends die of malnutrition, or even they have to kill all their livestock for food. Instead, they started to feel hungry and anticipated starvation. They went from singing to complaining very quickly. They insisted that Moses and Aaron had bad or evil interpretations. Of course, Moses and Aaron had no interest of killing the people of Israel, and that was a shocking accusation. However, the grumbling hearts often find it easy to accuse the person it complains of having the worst motives. This was an amazing promise. Bread does not usually rain from the sky. However, God promised that He would provide Israel in this unexpected way. This reminds us that God may provide from resources that we never know existed. Sometimes He provided us with familiar resources, sometimes from unexpected resources. God promised to send bread from heaven, but He didn't promise to drop it into their mouths. They still had to go out and gather what they need for every day. The blessing of bread from heaven came with the responsibility of obedience. This responsibility would test Israel, the measure of their obedience. The test came on the 6th day, when they were to gather twice as much. On the 7th day could be received as a day of rest. One way God showed His glory was through this display of mercy and goodness. God didn't send them hell from heaven. He sent bread instead. Nor did He demand that they stop their complainings before they ate. Just like Jesus would later command us, God loved to feed those who acted like His enemy.
Welcome back to Are You Sure? We're now starting the first question of round 4. Ragy, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's take a look at question 1. Question number 1 is from Exodus 17, verse 1. The question asks, where did the children of Israel camp? They camped in the wilderness of Sin, they camped in Egypt, or they camped in a land called Rephidim.
Answer number 3. They camped in a land called Rephidim.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. Yes, that's correct. We're told in Exodus 17:1, the whole Israelite community set out from the desert of Sin, traveling from place to place as the Lord commanded. They ended up camping in Rephidim. Great job, Ragy. Question number 2. According to Exodus 17:6, where was the rock that Moses was to strike? It was in the wilderness of Sin, it was in Egypt, or it was in the land of Horeb.
Answer number 3. It was in the land of Horeb.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. Yes, that is correct. We know that the rock where Moses struck and water came out was in the biblical land of Horeb. Great job. Moving on to question number 3. In the story of the battle with Amalek, who did Moses tell to go and fight with them? He told Nadab, he told Aaron, or he told Joshua?
Answer number 3. He told Joshua.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's take a look. That is correct. We know from Exodus 17:9, Moses said to Joshua, "Choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand at the top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand." Great job, Ragy.
Thank you.
Moving on to question 4 of round 4. Also in Exodus 17, we are told that when Moses held up his hand during the battle, what did the Israelites do? They were being defeated, they were having a draw, or they were prevailing.
Answer number 3. They prevailed.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We know from verse 11 of Exodus 17 that so long as Moses held up his hand, the Israelites were winning in the battle. But whenever he would lower his hands, the Amalekites were winning in the battle. Great job, Ragy. This is now the 5th and final question of round 4. If Ragy gets this right, he would have earned $100. And moving on to round 5. Are you ready, Ragy?
Yes.
Let's see the question. The question asks, when Moses let down his hand during the battle, who ended up prevailing? The Gideonites, Israel, or the Amalekites?
The Amalekites. Answer number 3.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. This is an exact follow-up of the previous question. Whenever Moses held up his hands during the battle, Israel would win. Whenever he would lower his hands, the Amalekites would win. Great job, Ragy. Please stay tuned on our episode of Are You Sure as Ragy looks to complete the 5th and final round. We'll take a short break and we'll be back soon. Welcome back to Are You Sure? Now we have Ragy, who's going to start question number 1 of round 5. If he gets these next 5 questions correctly, he would have answered a total of 25 questions and reached all the way to the end, winning our ultimate cash prize of $200. Ragy, are you ready with question 1 of round 5?
Yes.
Let's get started. Question number 1 is from Exodus 17, and it also describes the battle of Israel with the Amalekites. The question asks, when Moses' hands became too heavy, what did they take to put under him? They took the mountain, they took a well, or they took a stone.
They took a stone. Answer number 3.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We're told when Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it, and Aaron and Hur held up his hands. Great job.
Thank you.
Question number 2. According to Exodus 17:13, what did Joshua defeat the army of Amalek with? The edge of a knife, the edge of a dagger, or the edge of the sword?
Answer number 3. The edge of the sword.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We're told that Joshua overcame the Amalekite army with the sword. Great job.
Thank you.
Moving on to question 3 of round 5. How long did the people sit under Moses when he sat to judge the people? The people sat under him from evening till the morning. The people sat under him the entire weekend. The people sat under him from the morning until the evening.
The people sat under Moses from morning until evening. Answer number 3.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. In Exodus 18:13, it describes, the next day Moses took his seat to serve as a judge, and the people stood around him from morning until the evening. Great job, Ragy. This is now question number 4 of round 5. We only have this one and the next one left. This question is from the story of Joseph. What was before the butler in his dreams? A factory, a mine, or a vine from a vineyard?
Answer number 3. A vine was before the butler in his dream.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. That is correct. We know from Genesis 49:11 that the butler was serving grapes, and that's why he saw a vine in his dream. Great job. This is now the 5th question of round 5. Ragy, if you get this right, you would have reached all the way to the end. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the question. According to Exodus 16:12, what are the children of Israel to be filled with in the morning? They are to be filled with birds, they are to be filled with chickens, or they will to be filled with bread.
Answer number 3. They are to be filled with bread.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see the answer. Great job, Ragy. That is correct. Exodus 16:12 tells us that when God heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, he said, "Eat of the flesh, and in the morning I will fill you with bread." Awesome job, Ragy. A huge congratulations to Ragy, who answered 25 questions correctly on our game show of Are You Sure? He has earned the ultimate cash prize of $200. Congratulations, Ragy.
Thank you. Yay!
راجي وحياة أبوك تقعد يا راجي. الواد ده ملوش كرسي. اديله الكرسي بتاعي.
No, I shouldn't take a clip and I just happen to be going like this.
Yeah, don't do that. Welcome to today's week.